Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am a transgender princess, woman, girl, icon, if you will. Today I'm going to be doing a 3.5-year hormone update. Let's just get right into it. So first, let's just get into what I take. This is spironolactone. It looks like this. It's a little tab like that. It is, let's see, 100 milligrams, and I take 2 of those in the morning. So 200 milligrams of testosterone blockers. My estrogen is Premarin. I know most trans girls on YouTube do not take Premarin. However, this is what my endocrinologist recommended to me. So they look like this, like little yellow orangey footballs, and they are 1.25 milligrams. So I take 2 of those in the morning with my 2 testosterone blocker pills, and then I take another estrogen pill at night. So 3.75 milligrams total. Of course, what you guys are probably most excited about are the physical changes, so I'll go ahead and get into those. I will say, sorry, smoker's lungs. I noticed the physical changes peaking around the 4 to 6 month mark. I would say that's when I really noticed things like starting to really pop off. And then I saw them halt around the 2.5 year mark. I believe around that time is when things just kind of like plateau and like you're on nearly the highest dose. So this is just kind of what you get. I'll just start from head to toe. So my hair has gotten considerably long. I would say it's like a little bit past my nipples, like almost like my underboob area. I haven't cut my hair since I started transitioning, which is crazy. And when I tell people that, they're like, you're fucking insane. You need to trim your hair. I did trim my hair at home by myself, I would say a couple months ago. And I just kind of like cut off the dead ends. And I was like getting really into it. Like I was like, damn, my hair looks so healthy. And I just kept like cutting it. And I had to like make myself stop because I didn't want to fuck it up. But other than that, I haven't cut my hair at all. Also, I have these little baby hairs. I try to lay them sometimes, but it's kind of annoying and they're just like really curly. But it's from the estrogen. This is my new hair growth. Obviously, women tend to have a lower hairline, so this is my medication trying to compensate for my lack of hair and edges. As far as face goes, I definitely noticed some very tiny changes. I mean, I started hormones when I was 17, so I was already pretty deep into puberty, so not a lot of things are gonna change. I noticed like my mom and my dad say all the time like how much my face has changed and that it's gotten softer. I definitely do think that's true. You do gain a lot of fat in your face just due to like fat redistribution and stuff like that. But as far as like the bone structure, that obviously doesn't change. Everything just looks softer because you gain weight in your face. Your actual bones aren't changing. I'm so tired of these trans girls on YouTube telling their viewers, telling people who are genuinely curious and concerned with hormones that it's gonna change your face shape. It's really not. It changes the fat in your face. Your actual bones and like face structure is not gonna change. So just keep that in mind. Let's move on to tits. I know that's like the biggest thing that everyone wants to know. I wore a white t-shirt today on purpose so that I can show you. I'm not gonna show you everything, but I've got like fat here to grab, nothing special. I mean, this is what they look like. That's about it. I will say that my breast growth probably halted, like I said, around like 1.5, 2 years. During the beginning of me taking hormones, for like the first year, my breasts were extremely sensitive. My nipples were extremely sensitive. Whenever you start taking estrogen, it basically feels like there's a knot or like a little like nugget right under your nipple and you can like feel it. Your nipples leak a lot too. I don't hear a lot of other girls talk about that, but when I would like squeeze my boobs or like play with myself, my nipples would like secrete liquid and it's just like built up estrogen. I thought I was dying. I thought I was like bleeding. Like I didn't know what it was. And then I looked it up and I was like, oh, just estrogen juice. As far as my body goes, I've definitely got a lot curvier. I'll insert a picture somewhere on the screen. My hips definitely have a very defined curve point. I never really had a super like square body shape, but hormones definitely enhanced the curves that I already had. Ass, another thing you guys are obsessed with. My ass is pretty big, and to be honest, it definitely got bigger during hormones, and it also kind of morphed into a different ass. Like the ass I used to have was nice, but it was like fatty in the wrong areas. With HRT, I feel like it's gained a lot of mass on the lower part, so you get that nice like fold. Let's talk about skin. Skin's probably one of my favorite parts. I feel like people don't realize how important and how safe it feels to have really soft skin. Before HRT, I would always have to moisturize and moisturize and moisturize and apply so much shit to my skin because it was so dry and just like rough. Now, I of course still use lotions and moisturizers and stuff like that, but my skin has definitely gotten a lot softer. Like when I'm washing myself in the tub, it doesn't feel like rough. It just like everything I do involving my skin and like touching my skin, even my face, it just feels softer and nicer and very like buttery and sweet. I like it. Body hair is a little different depending on who you are. I know a lot of trans girls, like once they're on HRT for however many years, they just like stop growing like chest hair, belly hair, like all that kind of stuff. Mine didn't stop, but it did get slower. So my legs, like I used to have to shave like every 2 days. Now I can go like a week without shaving my legs before it looks like noticeable. My chest hair and my belly hair, I still have to shave that. I usually shave that like every 2 weeks. It doesn't really bother me and it's not super thick. I think that's one thing that changes is the texture of the hair. So maybe before you start HRT, you've got really coarse leg hair, chest hair, body hair, all that kind of stuff. But as you take HRT, the hair doesn't stop growing, but I think the rate at which it grows slows down and the texture slows down a bit. Like whenever I have leg hair now, before it would be like super, super gritty and it just looked like gross, like a Brillo pad. And now when I do have hair on my legs, like it doesn't even bother me that much. It's just like soft and cute and like girly body hair. The only exception, and I want to make that very clear, is facial hair. Facial hair growth does not stop. The rate at which it grows does not stop. The texture of it does not stop. I still have to shave every 2 days. I find that it's the same as it was before. It grows in all the same places. The only way to get rid of facial hair is laser or electrolysis. Once the follicles are there, they're not stopping. Your face, I don't know why it has to be the fucking face. Like I'd rather my fucking pubes just grow like that, but facial hair doesn't stop, unfortunately. I wish it did, but it doesn't. Don't think that once you start hormones, your facial hair is gonna stop growing or it's gonna be more manageable. It's really not. I don't wanna lie to you. It's just not gonna be. As far as your penis goes, your penis is gonna get a lot softer, which is weird. The size is gonna go down. Your sex drive's gonna go down, then go up really hard, and then go down again. I go through phases where I wanna fuck like every fucking second of the day and I'll come like 4 times in a day. And then I can go like a week without coming and it's weird. I don't know. It's just, I guess it depends on like your chemical makeup in your brain and like how you are as a person. As far as like coming goes, it's so fucking weird because sometimes I will come and nothing will come out. Like your sperm rate just goes plummets just straight into the fucking ground. When I do come, it's not like that thick, white, creamy, like consistency. It's usually just like a really clear liquid and it's not like a projectile. Like it's not like coming back and shooting me in the face. It's just kind of like a volcano that just like overflows onto itself. It's kind of weird, but I like it better. Before when I would like come, I didn't like having like huge fucking load like coming out of my body. That didn't make me feel pretty. Now it's just like a little like. Another thing sexually, I have so much more pleasure in my nipples. Like when I have sex now, all I want is like my nipples played with. Like that's literally it. Like just play with my nipples. Like I can do the rest. Like it's fine. Like just like suck on my tits. It feels so fucking good. And it like when I'm having nipple stimulation as I'm like orgasming, it's just like astronomically better. Before I like didn't really feel anything there, so now it's definitely a lot more sensitive. So now that we're done talking about body, let's talk about my favorite part of the transition hormonally, which is mental stuff. As soon as I started taking hormones, I want to say within a month in, I definitely felt a lot of peace of mind. I felt more calm. I felt like my brain was finally doing what it was supposed to do, which I think is very essential. I think when people do these hormone update videos, they kind of neglect to talk about the mental, and that's honestly the most rewarding part. Like, yeah, it's cool to have tits, it's cool to have like a curvy waist, it's cool to have like a fat ass, but the most important part and the part we tend to neglect is how at peace our minds feel. I noticed that my depression, especially within like the first 2 years, was not very high at all. I just felt like myself. After the 2-year mark, I know I keep saying 2 year, 2 year, 2 year, that's when things kind of started changing for me. My body changes stopped and my depression came back. Before the 2-year mark, I think I was just so hyped up and like so excited that I thought I was invincible. Like I literally thought I went outside and like passed every second. Like no one could fucking faze me. You could call me a fucking tranny walking down the road and I would just be like, what? Like there's no way they're talking to me, even if they were looking at me right in my eyeballs. Around the 2-year mark is when I realized like I'm ready to like go. Like I'm ready to like get FFS, like get SRS, like get my tits. Like I'm just ready to fucking move on. And things kind of started becoming stagnant and I kind of went back into that depression. Now that I'm 3.5 years in, the depression's still definitely there. I've also formed some anxiety that I feel like I didn't have before HRT. And I feel like that has to do with just transitioning in general and being scared to go in public. Me and my boyfriend, we went to the mall the other day and I hate the mall, like legit hate the mall. Like I will avoid the mall. I will order everything online if I have to. Like I do not like going to malls. Hate it. It's a bunch of like 16-year-olds. They're all super judgy. They're all insecure. So they want to like target me out and point at me and laugh at me. And I'm like, no bitch. I know you're a fucking virgin and that's not cute. Leighton had to like hold my hand the whole time. He kept asking me if I was okay, which is so sweet, by the way, like literally so romantic. Like I want to fucking cry, but I just don't like public places. I get really scared going in public. I hate people staring at me and I don't like it. Another thing that goes along with mental is just your approach to everything. Like when I think of sad things, happy things, things that make me angry, things that make me jealous, all of those emotions are just like heightened. Like before I was like here and now I'm like way up here, like out of the fucking camera, like way too high. Sometimes I feel like my dosages are way too high just because my highs and my lows are just so like extreme, and that might be like bipolar depression. I don't even know. I am not going to self-diagnose myself, but I really should go to a psychiatrist. You just feel everything, but like 100 times more. Like you would feel stuff before, but around that 2-year mark, girl, that's when everything gets real. Like I'm telling y'all, the 2-year mark is when shit hits the fucking fan. You'll realize like, oh, this is happening. This is my life. This is like, I'm ready to go. But despite all of the negatives that I talked about today, I am astronomically happier. I know I'm way more happier than I would be if I wasn't on HRT. I have thought a lot, not a lot, but it's crossed my mind, like, is this right for me? Am I doing the right thing? Should I be doing this? Like, is this worth it? Can I take this? Like, am I just fucking over it? And the answer is I'm happier than ever. And yes, there are going to be negatives that come along with it, but you just have to fight through it. And there's going to be hardships, but the positives I think definitely outweigh the negatives. And I recommend that if you are transgender and you want to seek out hormone therapy, that you should definitely do it. I don't recommend that you buy your hormones online. Don't fucking be stupid. You need to go to an endocrinologist or a pediatrician, have your shit regulated, have your shit monitored and watched. You don't need to be diagnosing yourself and prescribing yourself medications that you should not be taking. You need to do it the right way. I know it's hard, but I don't want any of you to hurt yourselves. I've seen so many trans girls fuck up their whole fucking minds because they're like, oh, I want to take 4 milligrams of estrogen and I'm gonna order it from Armenia and they're gonna ship it to me and it's gonna be here in 2 weeks and it's gonna be great. And then they're like, holy shit, like, I feel like I want to kill myself. And it's like, yeah, exactly, because you didn't wait. Just do it the right way. I want you guys to be healthy and happy and have productive lives. That is going to be it for this video. As always, if you liked it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to. You don't have to, but it would be cool if you did. All of my social media is in the description, so you can follow me when I'm not posting on YouTube. And yeah, I'll be replying to some of the comments, so be sure to sound off down there. Give your personal experiences. If people have questions, feel free to answer them. I'll be in the comments too, kind of talking to you guys. So it'll be fun. We can have a little discussion. Oh, and turn on the notification bell. Tell me how I didn't know there was a notification bell for shit. I've got to go to work and make this point. So I love you guys so much. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.